Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Hyper Hooper Basketball here, aka the Kid Max Kellerman. So, with Cade Cunningham going first overall in the 2021 NBA Draft, I figured it would be fun to look at the last decade's first pick from every single year, and then at the end of the video, rank the first picks. So grab a snack, stay safe from Delta, and watch this video. And cue the intro. In 2010, the first pick was John Wall, and he was drafted by the Washington Wizards. It was a very smart move at the time because the Washington Wizards were deprived of point guards and had literally no one at that point guard spot, and Wall really filled that void. Wall became one of the best players and point guards in the NBA of his time, and with the Wizards was an amazing contributor. Over his career, he's averaged numbers of 19 points, 4 rebounds, and 9 assists per game. And so it was a pretty smart move of the Washington Wizards to draft Wall first overall in the draft. And even with Houston in his later days, he's been a great contributor to the team. With the first pick in the 2011 draft, the Cleveland Cavaliers decided to take Kyrie Irving out of Duke University. This was right at the time when the LeBron James era in Cleveland had come to an end, and the Cleveland Cavaliers needed another star to be able to carry the team for at least a few years. And they found that guy in the draft, which was Kyrie Irving. He carried the Cavs from 2011 to 2014 and was a very solid contributor on the 2016 championship team. He's been noticed for having the best handles in the NBA, and over the years has averaged 22 points, 3 rebounds, and 5 assists per contest. With the first pick in the draft lottery in 2012, the New Orleans Pelicans selected Anthony Davis, the consensus number 1 pick out of Kentucky. Davis has become one of the most dominant bigs in the league that we have ever seen, and through his time in the NBA has averaged some crazy numbers. 23 points, 3 assists, 10 rebounds. You gotta love it. Anthony Davis got traded to the Los Angeles Lakers in 2019 after being with the Pels for so long and not being able to get past the second round. And he eventually was an NBA champion in 2020 with the LA Lakers, winning it all in Disney World. With the first selection in the 2013 NBA draft, a surprise pick was Anthony Bennett by the Cleveland Cavaliers, and we all know Anthony Bennett to be the worst draft bust in recent NBA history, or just in NBA history alone. Bennett was supposed to be the next LeBron James, but he did not fill those shoes. Bennett averaged a horrendous 4 points, 3 boards, and 1 assist per game in his time in the NBA, and was just horrible. Teams couldn't even play him because of how bad his efficiency really was. And in his best season, averaged 5 points per game. The Cleveland Cavaliers once again won the draft lottery in 2014 and picked Andrew Wiggins, who went first overall. 1 month later, they traded him to the Minnesota Timberwolves for Kevin Love and had a crazy rookie season and won NBA Rookie of the Year. He used to be criticized for his bad efficiency and his only offensive game, but he's become a pretty good defensive player over the years. For his career, he's averaged 19 points, 4 rebounds, and pretty solid 2 assists per game. Pretty good. I'll take it. The reason he is called Maple Jordan is because he got that name in high school, obviously from Michael Jordan. With the first pick in the 2015 NBA draft, the Minnesota Timberwolves selected Karl Anthony-Towns out of Kentucky. Cat has balled out in the NBA and even won Rookie of the Year in 2016, has been a one-time All-Star, but the only problem with Karl Anthony-Towns that people even bring up is his horrible defense and how he's not strong enough to back people down in the post, but has been one of the best big men three-point shooters the league has ever seen. He's averaged 23 points, 11 rebounds, and 3 assists per game throughout his time in the NBA. Cat has not yet led the Minnesota Timberwolves to success, which is why a lot of people think Cat may lead the Timberwolves next season. With the first pick in the 2016 NBA draft, the Philadelphia 76ers drafted Ben Simmons out of LSU. Simmons was hyped up because he had the play style of a guard, but he had the height of a center. Having a 6'10" point guard is a huge advantage because you're able to destroy other guards on the defensive end. But Ben came with his downsides because he has been ridiculed for not shooting threes. But he's been pretty good at everything else, though, and in his time in the NBA has averaged 16 points, 8 rebounds, and 7 assists per game. He was horrible in this year's playoffs, though. The Philadelphia 76ers once again had the first selection in the 2017 NBA draft and selected Markelle Fultz out of Washington State University. Fultz didn't live up to the potential with the Philadelphia 76ers, and people immediately wrote him off as a bust. But in 2019, Fultz was traded to the Orlando Magic, and this was the perfect chance to prove everybody wrong. With the Orlando Magic, Fultz has averaged a steady 12 points per game. Not exactly number one pick stats, but at least he's doing better than he was in Philly a few years ago. But not just that, he's a floor general who can see the court and averages 5 assists per night. With the first pick in the 2018 NBA draft, the Phoenix Suns selected Deandre Ayton out of, surprisingly, Arizona. In his first season, he was a contender for Rookie of the Year, but fell just short after he did not play incredibly well, but averaged 16 points per game in his first season, which is great for a rookie. He's become one of the most versatile big men in the NBA and has averaged some great numbers. Over the course of his career, he's averaged 16 points, 10 rebounds, and 2 assists per contest. He's becoming a huge piece of the Phoenix Suns building something special. Even though his numbers took a dip this season, he's been quite good for his career. With the first pick in the 2019 NBA draft, the New Orleans Pelicans selected Zion Williamson, the obvious number one pick. It is obvious why the New Orleans Pelicans decided to draft Zion number one. He has incredible length and is one of the best jumpers the NBA has ever seen. He's incredibly athletic at just 6'6" and has gotten comparisons to LeBron James. Over his career, he's averaged some incredible numbers: 26 points, 7 boards, and 3 assists per night. Zion is an anomaly. We've never seen someone quite like him, and he is definitely a future NBA League MVP. In my opinion, Zion even has the tools to become the best player of all time, but it's way too early to tell. With the first pick in the lottery in 2020, the Minnesota Timberwolves had the first pick, and with that pick, they selected Anthony Edwards out of Georgia Tech. Edwards was second place for Rookie of the Year voting this season and averaged some insane numbers, and I couldn't be more proud of him. I can tell that he's going to be a star in this league. This season, he averaged 19 points, 5 rebounds, and 3 assists per game, which are some crazy numbers for a rookie. I definitely wouldn't be surprised if he topped that off next year by averaging about 23 points a game or something like that. It's obvious why Edwards was picked first overall because of his amazing scoring ability and tons of other assets to his game. And then a couple nights ago, the Detroit Pistons selected Cade Cunningham first overall in this year's NBA draft. It's way too early to tell with him, so we're not even going to be ranking him on the rankings, but it's just fun to look at him because he's going to be a very successful star, but we don't know that yet, so that's why we're not ranking him. But we're like 99.9% sure that Cade Cunningham is going to be great. In college, he averaged insane numbers of 20 points, 8 assists. It's obvious why the Detroit Pistons would draft him first overall. He's a can't-miss prospect that you just cannot miss out on. And then that brings us to our rankings. I rank Anthony Davis first overall just because of how dominant Davis has been in his career. Kyrie Irving is ranked second in 2011 just because he's one of the best ball wizards in the NBA and can just take over at any moment necessary. 3 is Zion Williamson because he's a freak of nature. He would be higher if he'd played longer in the NBA, but yeah. 4 is John Wall in 2010 because he's one of the best passers in the NBA and can destroy anyone at any moment with his deadly crossovers. 5 is Cat, and it's self-explanatory why he is at this spot. 6 is Ben Simmons because Ben is a little bit worse than Karl Anthony-Towns and the rest of the guys on this list, like a tier below them. 7 is Andrew Wiggins in 2014 because he has proven himself quite well over the past few years and being very efficient. And 8 is Deandre Ayton in 2018. And this leaves us with the guys who didn't get ranked. Anthony Bennett for obvious reasons, Cade Cunningham because we haven't seen him play an actual NBA game yet, and Anthony Edwards because he's only played 1 season of his young career. But that's going to wrap up this video. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. Click subscribe, turn notifications on, like, share, comment, all the good stuff. And as always, I'm your boy Hyper Hooper Basketball, and we're out.